The chances, I think, of a rapid Russian success have gone. I think it is about attrition and about what the effects of that attrition will be in a material and political sense. And it won't be, I think, a quick resolution to the crisis. This is why I think that the Russian capacity for offensive operations is going to bleed away. It's going to continue to decline. So I simply don't think that we're likely to see any major Russian breakthroughs, even through their repeated attempts to withdraw from some areas to concentrate more forces to get that combat power. So, I mean, the development of the war has confounded analysts, I think, at every turn. I think that obviously in the initial stages, there was the belief that Russia would probably win quickly. They didn't. They withdrew from around Kyiv in order to concentrate their forces to attack eastern Ukraine, take the Donbass. And what is interesting is the extent to which they have now, are now in the process, I think, of failing at that. So what we see, again, with the withdrawal of Russian forces from around Kharkiv, is the way in which the Russians essentially are suffering serious problems in generating the required combat power to conduct successful offensive operations in the east. So what they are doing is constantly trying to reconcentrate forces at the critical points in Donbass. And that there is a profound malaise in the Russian military that the Russians have demonstrated themselves to be very poor at just the basics of effective land warfare. So at a tactical level, you know, combined arms maneuver, joint warfare, unified command and control, effective communications, logistics, just the basics. They've proven themselves to be really poor at, surprisingly poor. And the upshot of that is that they have progressively, as we've seen, found it necessary to concentrate more and more forces to try and push forward their offensive ground operations. And what that's required, by concentrating in some areas, you have to withdraw forces from others. The inability of the Russians to generate that advantage tactically is actually, over a period of time, I think, wearing them down. It's not giving them the advantage that you would think that you would get from reconcentrating on narrow fronts. If you look forwards, at least in a tactical military sense, you might be looking at a stalemate, a military stalemate, which begins to solidify somewhere around the front line that we've got at the moment. The difficulty will be, I think, that you know, early on you used the word victory. What does victory mean for both sides, given the way in which the conflict is likely to be developing? And the difficulty, I think, from the likelihood of attrition is that for at least in the medium term, both sides might believe that they're still better off fighting. That it might be that if they just keep fighting, that the costs will force the other side to compromise on the negotiating table. So from Vladimir Putin's perspective, he needs Donetsk and Luhansk